All right, so we're back for another deep dive, and this time we're shifting gears into the world of Formula One.
Yeah.
Specifically.
The Las Vegas Grand Prix.
That's right, the upcoming Grand Prix in Vegas. So
That'd be a good one.
yeah, you gave me some really interesting sources about, the track, the current standings, and even the betting odds. So let's break this down for our listeners.
I think what's so interesting is that there is a lot of, we could call it track anxiety.
Oh, really?
Going into this year's race, just because of how last year's event went.
Yeah, the inaugural race last year.
Right.
In Vegas. I mean, it was definitely a spectacle.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't without its hiccups, was it?
No, it wasn't.
There were some issues.
I mean, just off the top of my head, Carlos Sainz's incident with the drain cover.
Oh, yeah.
That raised some eyebrows about how prepared the track was for a high-speed street circuit.
That's a good point.
And then you combine that with a night race, cold desert temperatures. You have a very unique set of factors.
Interesting.
That could really shake things up this year.
So let's talk about the championship, because the championship chase right now is...
unbelievable.
It's pretty tight, right?
It's amazing.
At the top.
Yeah. So right now you've got Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, leading with 393 points.
Okay.
But you've got Lando Norris in the McLaren,
Okay.
right behind him at 331 points.
So it's close.
Very close.
Yeah.
And this is where the Vegas race gets super interesting.
Okay.
Because if Verstappen wins, he clinches the 2024 Drivers' Championship.
Wow.
So the stakes are very high for this race.
So who are we looking at as potential favorites to take the checkered flag in Vegas?
Well, it's interesting. Despite Verstappen, leading, his odds have actually shifted dramatically.
Real?
Since, August.
Wow.
He went from being the heavy favorite to now kind of being listed as a bit of an underdog. He's at plus 450 now.
Oh, wow.
And I think this could be due to Red Bull's kind of performance dip.
Okay.
They've been struggling to match the pace of McLaren and Ferrari on certain tracks.
So it sounds like even though he has the points lead, Verstappen might have a real fight on his hands this weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, if we're talking potential winners, we can't ignore Lando Norris. He is at plus 250.
Okay.
He's been so consistent this season. His frequent podium finishes. And plus his driving style, he's aggressive. So he often gets into battles with Verstappen.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's really exciting to watch.
It creates tension.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Remember at the Dutch Grand Prix? He won that dominantly.
Right, he did.
So it really showed he's capable of really outpacing the competition when the car is performing.
So he's definitely a contender.
He's a serious contender.
Yeah.
For sure.
Who else should we be keeping an eye on?
Well, Charles Leclerc, also at plus 250.
Okay.
He's looking like a real threat in the Ferrari.
So the Ferrari's doing pretty good this year.
Yeah, their performance has seen a pretty big upswing lately.
Right.
He got second last year.
Okay.
In this race.
In the Vegas race, yeah.
And his odds have improved dramatically since the beginning of the season.
So it sounds like everyone's...
Yeah, the betting world is taking notice.
Taking notice of Ferrari. So we've got Norris and Leclerc as potential winners. But you're saying even though Verstappen's odds have slipped, we shouldn't count him out.
No.
I mean, he's the reigning champion.
Right, exactly.
It's hard to ignore that.
He's proven time and again that he can pull off some crazy wins, even when the odds are stacked against him.
Right.
He's done it before.
Don't forget, he won in Brazil a couple weeks ago, and he took the checkered flag in Vegas last year.
That's right. So
it did, yeah.
If you're looking for a potentially high payout, Verstappen at plus 450 might be a tempting gamble.
High risk, high reward.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit and look at the team battle.
Okay.
Is there a particular rivalry that we should be watching in the constructor standings?
It's really the battle between McLaren and Ferrari.
Okay.
It's almost as exciting as the Drivers' Championship.
Wow.
McLaren is holding a slight lead at 593 points.
Right.
But Ferrari's hot on their tail, 557.
So very close.
Extremely close.
Yeah.
This Vegas Grand Prix could be a pivotal race, not just for the drivers, but for the teams.
Okay.
And that's where the track issues from last year become even more significant.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If the track surface is unpredictable,
it could shake things up.
It could totally impact a team strategy and swing the championship in either direction.
This is getting really interesting. Before we dive deeper into betting strategies and specific predictions, let's shift our focus to you, the listener.
Yeah.
What stands out to you so far?
Sure question.
What are you thinking about?
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
What are you wondering about? I mean, thinking back to last year, those dramatic images of Sainz's car spinning off after hitting that loose drain cover. It was a stark reminder that even a minor track issue can have huge consequences in a race like this.
And this is a street circuit, right? So those types of issues are always a concern.
Exactly. You've got concrete barriers lining the track, uneven surfaces, changes in elevation.
Right.
All of which can make for a very unpredictable race.
Yeah.
And then you add in the cold desert temperatures at night.
Oh, right.
Which we know can affect tire grip and car aerodynamics. So
it's going to be
the drivers will have their work cut out for them.
Test of skill and adaptability.
Big time.
So knowing all of this,
yeah,
what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about placing a bet on the Las Vegas Grand Prix?
Well, I'd say considering those track-specific challenges, I would look for drivers who have a proven track record on street circuits and who are known for their smooth, precise driving style.
Makes sense.
Someone like Leclerc, who excels at navigating those tight corners and managing tire degradation.
Oh, that's a good point.
He could be a smart bet.
So it's not just about raw speed on a track like this.
It's about finesse and strategy.
Let's talk a little bit more about those betting odds we touched on earlier.
Sure.
You mentioned Verstappen's shift from favorite to underdog.
Right.
What's the story there?
Well, Red Bull, despite having the lead in the standings, they've been struggling.
Really?
With a few technical issues.
Okay.
Their car seems to be lacking downforce, particularly on high-speed corners, which has put them at a disadvantage on certain tracks.
So if someone's looking for a potential upset, maybe they should consider betting on Leclerc or Norris.
Potentially.
Okay.
It could be a worthwhile gamble, especially considering their current form and the track's unique characteristics.
Yeah.
But, betting on Formula One, it's always a bit of a gamble, even with all the data and analysis at your fingertips.
That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, really.
It's so unpredictable.
It keeps us all on the edge of our seats.
Keeps us on the edge of our seats, yeah.
Speaking of unpredictable.
Yes.
Let's bring back to the team battle.
Yeah.
You mentioned McLaren and Ferrari going head-to-head for the Constructors' Championship.
Okay.
What makes this rivalry so compelling is that we're seeing two teams with very different approaches to car design and race strategy. They're just battling it out at the top. Oh, wow. McLaren has been consistently strong all season. Yeah. Relying on a balanced car that performs well in a variety of conditions. Ferrari, on the other hand, they've had a more up and down season.
Really?
But has shown flashes of brilliance.
Interesting.
Especially in recent races.
Okay.
Their car seems to have a higher top speed.
Okay.
But they sometimes struggle with tire wear.
So for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, would you say that McLaren has the edge?
It's tough.
Given their consistency.
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
The long straights on the Las Vegas track could favor Ferrari's speed advantage.
Right.
But McLaren's superior tire management might come into play during those later stages of the race.
Right.
Plus, with those tight corners and potential track issues we discussed, anything could happen.
This is what makes it so exciting.
Exactly. It's a true clash of styles.
Yeah.
And the outcome is far from certain.
Before we move on to our final thoughts and predictions, let's take a moment to consider what all of this means.
Okay.
For you, the listener.
Right.
What's the one key takeaway you should keep in mind?
Good question.
As we head into this weekend's Grand Prix.
I think the biggest takeaway is that this race is more than just a showdown between drivers or teams. It's a real test of how well they can adapt to a very specific set of challenges.
It's not just about who has the fastest car. Right. It's about who can handle the unique conditions of the Las Vegas track.
And make the smartest decisions.
Okay, so let's put it all together.
Okay.
Based on what we've discussed.
Yeah.
Track issues, driver standings, betting odds.
Right.
Those unpredictable conditions. Who do you think has the edge going into this race?
If I had to put my money on someone, I would lean towards Charles Leclerc.
Interesting.
He's got the momentum from Ferrari's recent performance surge.
Right.
He's shown that he can handle street circuits. And his driving style seems well suited to the tight corners and technical sections of the Las Vegas track.
Interesting choice. Okay. What about the team battle? Who do you see coming out on top?
Tough one.
Between McLaren and Ferrari?
I think McLaren might have a slight edge. Their consistency throughout the season suggests that they're less likely to make a costly mistake. And their car seems more adaptable to a wider range of conditions.
So you're saying Leclerc for the win. And McLaren for the Constructors' Championship. Bold predictions.
I'm sticking with them. But remember, this is Formula One. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
That's what keeps us coming back for more.
That's what keeps us coming back for more. All right. So there you have it, folks.
That's right.
Our deep dive into the F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix.
That's right.
We covered the track, the championship battles, the betting odds. We even made some predictions along the way.
We did. Remember, this is a race you won't want to miss.
That's right.
Tune in this weekend. And see how it all unfolds under the bright lights.
Of Vegas.
And
one last thought for you. Keep an eye on how the drivers manage their tires.
Ooh, good one.
They could be the deciding factor.
Could be.
In who takes the checkered flag.
For sure.
Until next time. Keep exploring, keep learning.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting this channel by hitting the subscribe and like buttons. This will help the channel grow and expand on the journey we have begun together here at AI Meets You.